Hi everyone and welcome to my next video. So this one's all about running a business whilst on low income. Now I get it. It can feel so incredibly challenging when you've got hardly any money to try and then grow your business. First of all, from several comments that I've seen on various groups on Facebook, I know that people have said that they have been in that position themselves, and now years later they are actually making a successful business, as in making enough profit to pay off all their bills, save for a holiday, all that sort of stuff, which is fantastic, which means it can be done. So that is hugely encouraging, and I hope that just that thought alone can help you to keep going. Okay, so for me personally, and this isn't anything official, this is just how I see it, but I see businesses as having 3 stages. So stage 1 is a complete startup. You might have some sales or you might not have got your first sale yet. If you are having sales, it's very, very few and far between. Perhaps a lot of them come from friends and family. And you're sort of really struggling to actually even just get out there and have regular sales. Stage 2 is where you've taken off a bit more now. You are getting regular sales, but it's not enough to live off yet. People are starting to recognise you. They're finding you organically. Your volume of sales is now going a lot up when you compare it to sort of the same period, say last year or even like 6 months ago, what have you. Things are improving and this is fantastic, but you're not sort of there yet where you want to be. And then stage 3 is this thriving stage. So I'm not talking about 6-figure profits for a year or anything like that. This is just making enough so that you don't have to worry about your bills, and you can save for if your car breaks down, or saving up for holidays and stuff like that. This is where you actually want to be as an absolute minimum. Excuse me. So for me, going from stage 1 to stage 2, I wouldn't exactly say it's easy. It does take a lot of work, but in a sense, if you just have decent pictures, have a good description so that the buyer knows exactly what it is that they would be receiving with their order, nothing that's sort of going to put them off. You do research on tags and titles, get yourself out there on social media, don't just post about your products, do some videos behind the scenes and stuff like that. All of this can help you go from stage 1 to stage 2, and that's great. And the best thing is, a lot of this information on how to do that is free. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube that can get you out there. So if you have an Etsy shop, I personally recommend the Handmade Bosses. It's run by a lovely lady called Steph. I look at all her free content. She's got a YouTube channel, there's a Facebook group. I find it absolutely really, really helpful in sort of taking off with that bit, and that's certainly what got me from that stage 1 to stage 2. Okay, going from stage 2 to stage 3. Now this is actually a lot more difficult because every time you do some research on how to expand and grow your business, you are met with courses that you are having to take. It's because free advice tends to be generic. Nothing that's sort of tailored to your own business needs, and to get that you need to sort of take a course, which is just not possible if you're on low income. Now this isn't bashing people who do these courses. Whilst there are some dodgy ones out there, a lot of them are experts in their field. They absolutely deserve to be paid for their course, and they are pricing it well. So it's not dissing on them in any way. It's just the fact that if you're on low income, you cannot afford to take these courses. Another thing that I see quite a bit on posts is I saw a few people commenting saying, oh, I spend like $30 a day on advertising. I'm like, I can't spend $30 a month. And the thing is, you need to keep it running for a good few days, if not longer, to actually start seeing results coming in, which means you're having to spend hundreds before you actually get sales back on that, and then keep it going for even a few more days to actually get full investment that you've paid out, fully sort of reimbursed through your income, and then get more profit on top of it. So it's just not possible. And for those people who can do the course and pay for the marketing, that's fantastic. And whilst we can sit here and almost have a bit of a moan, get jealous, and all the rest of it, which okay, I've done that. But it's not going to get you anywhere. And instead, I'm going to spend the rest of this video talking about what you can do with the things that you can control with. So, if you haven't got the money to take a course, that you can't take it. So I'm going to go through things of what you can actually do with the resources that you got available. Okay, so this isn't a like how to get more sales video. But I am going to talk to you about 3 different sections where if you implement all that advice, it should help you sort of progress with your business and therefore possibly lead to more sales. I just didn't want to put that guarantee. This is not like, this is how you get more sales sort of thing. So my 3 sections are section 1. Whilst you may not be able to control how much income you're getting at the moment, you can control what you're spending. So I'm going to talk about tips on how to reduce expenditure, which therefore would mean increasing your profit. Section 2 is going to be on sort of one of my top tips of where to find the best research, where to actually look for to help progress your business without paying for courses. And then section 3 is all on your mind. If you can't get your mental health in the right place to run your business, then you're just not going to be productive and it's just not going to go anywhere. So section 1, expenditure. I think one of the biggest tips is if you can start bulk buying some of your supplies. There's a lot of suppliers out there who offer discounts if you buy sort of more of the same item. So take, packaging boxes, for instance. If you buy, excuse me, say 100 boxes, it will work out cheaper per box than say buying 10. Now, I get it. If you're on low income, you're thinking, how can I afford to just fork out for bulk items? So the idea is to spread it out. So say that first month you do the packaging boxes, and then everything else you get in your small quantities, which cost less per order, until you can sort of afford your next bulk supply. But the idea is over time you'll be filling up your shelves with bulk items, meaning it'll be much longer before you have to replace them, and therefore you will be saving much more money in the long run. This is what I started doing from about November last year. So before that, my expenditure was so high. Now that I've implemented sort of bulk buying and I've got a much longer gap between buying more supplies, it means that I'm able to save so much more money. So my profit is actually going up. Even I've got higher profit, say like in February just gone, than I did in November, considering I had much more sales in November because of the Christmas rush than I did in February. So it really does make a huge difference. Other things to look out for is if there's things like free shipping over a certain amount. If you're going to be buying something anyway, perhaps you could consider, what else could I add to it to make that free shipping? Now, obviously, you've got to be careful. You want to make sure that the thing you buy is definitely going to be, you're going to be using within sort of about 6 months, because otherwise you're spending more and not actually getting sort of the value of the money out of it. So, for example, I've got one of my particular fabrics that I buy. Is really popular, and I make quite a lot of that. So if I'm buying other fabric from the same shop, they don't offer free shipping over a certain amount, but they have a fixed shipping amount, so that no matter whether you buy one bit of fabric or quite a few, you're going to be paying that same amount. So if I'm buying other fabric because I have to, because I've run out, I tend to add on this most popular fabric type onto the order because I know I'm going to get through it. So again, paying a bit more, but it means that when it comes to running out of the most popular type, I don't need to buy that separately, pay for the additional shipping, because I've made an extra order. I've already got it there in my shelf. So it is worth looking at these things, thinking about your own needs. Also, don't rush too much into replacing stuff. I did this so many times. Last year I bought something to make 10 of one item, and I sold 2 of them within a month, and I got so excited. I was like, oh, okay, I've only got 8 left. I need to buy some more. So I bought another 10, and then you know what? It took me about 4 more months just to get sales on the rest of the first lot of 10 that I bought, let alone going into the second lot. So it's a case, I knew it would take about a week to be delivered. I didn't need to buy some more after 2 sales. I could have waited until I've had 3 or 4 left. At the end of the day, it's not nice having things sold out. But, whilst you're still establishing it, you can get away with your listings being sold out if it's just for a few days, and then you can put it back on and then put it out on social media. This product is now back in stock, sort of thing. Because I've had that with some of my products, that it's sold out for a few days, and it's been fine afterwards, getting more sales after that. So yeah, there's just having a think for your own sort of specific needs, trying to save more money that way. Other things to look out for is, especially during your quiet periods, is to really research on perhaps changing your supplies for certain items. If you can find a cheaper alternative that doesn't lessen the quality or go against your values, so say if you're wanting everything to be organic, for instance, if you can find somewhere else that can be your ongoing future supplier, then that would be great. I did that with my tissue paper. I managed to find somewhere else where it's so much cheaper by less than half the price, and the quality, between the two, the one that I got before was a nicer quality, but the one I'm getting now, it's still good. It feels lovely. It does the job of protecting my items, which is the main purpose. The colour is fantastic. So I have no issues with that whatsoever, and I'm making a huge saving by having that switch. So it's worth doing more research on that sort of thing. Okay, section 2. It's all on this one big research thing that I have found to be really useful, and that is, if you are not on Facebook groups, you need to get yourself on them. So whether that's group for Etsy, eBay, Amazon Handmade, whatever it is that you're on, get yourself on there. There's lots of groups out there. If it doesn't work for you, you can leave. There's no one forcing you to stay there. But the biggest thing that I have found is, even if I don't post a lot, I lurk. I see what other people are posting. So for instance, I never knew about wholesale. I knew wholesale existed in the world, but I didn't know that I could make my products wholesale until I was part of these groups. There was someone who posted saying, right, I've done all that I can do with, getting sales and getting out there on social media. What can I do next? And someone suggested wholesale, and with that, they suggested a group to join, and then various companies that you can sign up with to sell your items on their sort of wholesale, almost like a marketplace sort of thing. And if it wasn't for posts like that, I wouldn't have considered signing up. So I haven't actually really started the wholesale yet. I'm just at the first stages, signing up, getting my products up. So I can't say any results on that yet. But it's all because of posts like that that's helped me there. Because the point of buying a course is so that someone can look at your specific business and tell you what you need to do to improve it. So without that, you kind of feel a bit lost of, where do I go next? Quite often you can't just post, I need more sales, what do I do? Because not many people actually answer that. If you post things that, or ask questions that are more generic, sorry, not generic, specific, then you're more likely to get more help. And through me just sort of browsing the type of questions people are asking, and then the actual answers that people were, commenting on those questions, I found out so much more on things that I could be looking at. It led me to do some masterclasses on Pinterest, where I picked up some fantastic tips on getting out there, and my views have gone like way up on Pinterest. I know I need to do a lot more with that. I've only really just started implementing it a few weeks ago, but it's still, if you're having to rely on free research, then the community out there on these Facebook groups are so helpful. And then if you get stuck, specifically, say where I signed up to one wholesale website, if I'm getting a bit confused with something about it, I can then post a question on there and they can be really helpful with that. So it's not just for your use of asking questions, but just to see what other people are asking, because you can pick up some amazing tips that you just didn't even know, wouldn't even think to look for those sort of tips without it. So it might then lead you on to, okay, yes, I want to learn how to do this particular thing. Don't know how to do it, so maybe I will then go on like YouTube or something and search how to do that. But if it wasn't for the group, I wouldn't even know to do that search on YouTube for it. So it's absolutely vital. Just join loads. I mean, okay, don't overwhelm yourself all at the same time. Join a few at a time, see if they're working for you. I do have to say, groups where you're just putting your products out there, you get very little interaction, because you're not targeting your particular, your target market. You're going out there to lots of other sellers. A lot of them won't be interested in your product, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's just what life is. You're not going to have everyone interested in your product. So joining groups where you're just posting your random products doesn't really get you results. You want to be in more help groups where you can actually post questions, especially because there'll be people on there who have been running their business for years and know exactly what they're talking about. You might be surprised on how they can help you with that. It was certainly through that group almost a year ago now that I found out, oh, hey, I can sell internationally. And excuse me, sorry, just I need a sip of water, I'm talking too much now. But yeah, it was through that group that they gave me advice on how to sell internationally, where to look up for laws and postage and stuff like that. So yeah, I fully recommend getting yourself on there. Okay, section 3, and this is all on your mind. As I said, if your mental health isn't in the right place, then you are just not going to be able to be productive on your business, and that's what we want. You alone are running your business. Even if you're doing it with someone else, it's still, you haven't got this outside help. So you need your mind to be in the right place, and these are some of the tips that I have that have helped me get my head in the right position as well. So first of all, as hard as it is, stop comparing yourself to other businesses. I know you see it when they put a post up or whatever saying, I've just hit my 10,000th sale, and you're like, wow, that's amazing, but now I'm extremely jealous because I'm nowhere near that. The point is, you don't know their story. They may have been struggling exactly where you are a few years ago. And most businesses are like that. There's not many, unless they are lucky that they have a particular sort of post which really gone viral, or they've had quite a bit of money to invest in marketing courses and stuff like that. Even then, that still requires work on their business. Most of them really do sort of struggle for a while. It can be a year, it can be a good few years. So, you know, don't worry if you're not there yet. It's okay. Stop comparing yourself to others and just concentrate on improving your own business. So my second tip is on look at how far you've actually come. Okay, I mean, I know some of you watching this might just be on your very, very sort of start-up of your business, or haven't even, you know, you're just considering starting a business. But if you've been running it, you know, for a few months or even a few years, look at how far you've come. Every single sale that you've made, you know, you have made that. Even if it's gone to family and friends, they don't technically have to support you. They don't have to buy from you. And they did. They've given you money. You've given them goods. Every single good review you've received is absolutely amazing. Perhaps you've learned a new skill, so that you can do like a new craft that you're selling. That's fantastic. You're learning. Maybe it was your first international order, or, you know, anything, even just the tiny, tiny little stuff. You've achieved that, and it's so important to look back on that. You know, for me, when I first started doing jewellery, my shop was all over the place. I had no idea the exact style that I wanted to go for with my jewellery. I was just putting anything up there. And then I really gave it a good think, and now I have a really good sort of concept to my shop. I'm really, really pleased with, and I did all that myself. I'm now adding gift bags, sort of cute and funky ones that you can either add to your jewellery item, or you can now even order gift bags separately. And I feel really pleased that I've actually grown my business enough to have this established shop where it's actually looking more real. Yeah, I've got loads of stuff that I need to still add on to it. I'm only like just over a quarter of what listings I actually want to have as my full end goal. But I still got somewhere, I've still made a progress, and that's something to really, really remember. My third tip is take a break. It is so important for your health that you have breaks, whether that's like a decent lunch break, or really, if you're finding everything to be too much, take a few days off. Now, I know you want to get on with your business. I know that, because I get like that. I feel guilty if I have like an afternoon off where I think, oh, you know, I could be working on this and that. But for your health, you need to take that time off. If you're struggling to get away from work completely, in terms of like think, okay, I'll put a film on, that's my break. But then you find you're picking up your phone and you're still looking, you know, through certain blogs, or you're posting on Instagram. That's not actually taking a break from your work. You're still doing stuff. So maybe you actually need to then get out of the house, go for a walk, you know, wherever, go shopping, even if you're just browsing because you can't buy anything. Just, you know, get yourself out there, just so that you can have a complete break away from your work, because you'll be in a much better state when you come back off your break, to then concentrate on it. And therefore that kind of leads me on to sort of fourth tip on to-do lists. To-do lists are so key. If something's just popped in your head that you want to get on with, if you have a notepad near you, or indeed use your phone, just jot that down, just so that you can get rid of that thought, so that you know, you're not sort of having that sort of weigh heavy on you, and you can concentrate on other things, and then have a plan of action, and so that you can carry that out when the time comes to it. But it can just make things a lot more clearer by having just written down a list. Even if that list looks really long and daunting, it's just so much better in your head than thinking, oh, I've got this to do, I've got that, oh, there's that I need to add on to it. And it just gets too much. So yeah, since I started doing lists and then prioritising, you know, picking 1, 2, or even 3 items, you think, right, I can work on that over the next sort of week or something, then yeah, that's sort of much better to do that. Okay, so I hope you found some of these things useful. So by implementing ways to reduce your expenditure, best ways on how to research on improving your business, and most importantly, getting your mind in the right place, then that can lead to you improving your business and therefore increasing your income. It's just not a quick fix, bam, now you're going to get loads of sales sort of thing. It does take a lot of work, but one of the most key things is don't give up. Really, really keep going. I have little reminders that I put around me. One of them says, you can do it on there. And when I have a tough day, I look at that and that does actually give me this huge boost of like, yes, keep going. I've taken more breaks recently, especially with like some lockdown restrictions easing. I've been getting out a bit more, which has been really, really helpful. And I just feel like my mind is in so much better place now to concentrate on my business. So thank you very much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. Do share it around. Great. Subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I hope to see you next time.